What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Backroads Breakdown. I'm Isaiah Dobbins. Let's break down some sports. The first round of 3A high school football had its first round of playoffs this past week as many teams look to add a championship banner to the rafters. Some scores from around the tournament and around the league as well. Perry-Lecompton beating Sabetha 28-21. Gunnar Ball of Perry-Lecompton having 281 yards and 3 TDs, hooking up with one of his favorite targets, Kale Gorski, with 9 receptions for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. Holton beating Santa Fe 58-18. Southeast Saline beating Marysville 60-7. Jefferson West and Osawatomie in a nail-biting close one 8-6. And Hayden shutting out Hiawatha 49-0. And now for the Rock Creek recap. The Mustangs played the Bishop Ward Cyclones this past Friday at home and came out with a win 34-17. Even though this Rock Creek Mustangs team is led by very few seniors, the Mustangs played with a chip on their shoulder and took care of business in a statement win. Rock Creek is back in action this Friday as they travel to play Topeka Hayden, who is currently 9-1. I believe the Rock Creek team, we've seen them be so resilient over these past few weeks. I believe that they will come out with a win again. It just comes down to if they can be fundamentally sound on the offensive defensive end. And when you go into a team that, has a good record like that, I think they'll even have a bigger chip on their shoulder. And, they got to look at it as, hey, we go into this game and the target's not necessarily on us, but on them. So I believe Rock Creek will be able to get it done. Taking a look ahead at the 3A bracket here, if the Mustangs were to win on Friday, they would go on to play Galena or Frontenac, Frontenac coming into this game with a 26-0 victory over Columbus, and Galena beating Burlington 50-6. On the other end of the bracket, who they would meet in the final, we're looking at Riley County and Concordia and Andale and Holcomb. Holcomb coming off a dominant victory over Heston 63-25. Andale beating Hugoton 53-2. Concordia beating Colby 52-20. And Riley County beating Russell 18-15. Cross country held its state race this past Saturday in Wamego, and Rock Creek's own Kyra Nippert placing 5th out of 101, and David Wilkinson placing 69th out of 101. So congrats to both of those runners on a great season. Lastly, the Trap Shooting Club had finishes from Hunter Prakash, who finished 1st out of conference out of 305 shooters, 2nd in state out of 1,000 shooters. Hayden Thomason finishing 2nd in conference and 5th in state, and also Aiden McKinney finishing 11th in conference and 27th in state. And now for our trivia question of the week. For those of you that tuned into last week's episode of the Backroads Breakdown, we did have a trivia question, and I do hold the results to that said question here. For those of you that are wondering what was the name of a baby horse, it is B. It was B from last week, a foal. And for those of you that got it right, you were entered into one of our drawings to win a free t-shirt. And congratulations to Megan Todd, who is this week's winner. But don't fret, guys, if you didn't get the question right, or if you didn't get picked, you do have a chance to win this week's question and still be entered to win. This week's trivia question is, what is Shane Stevens' record as head football coach? Is it A, 14-9, B, 15-8, C, 13-10, or D, 16-7? Find out next week with me, Isaiah Dobbins. This has been the Backroads Breakdown. We'll see you later.